1964 training for students. This presentation is for informational purposes only. We are not your attorneys, and the information provided in this presentation is not legal advice. Here is a brief overview of what will be covered in this training. First, we will discuss the background and purpose of Title VI. We will then discuss why Title VI applies to SUNY, the types of discrimination prohibited by Title VI, how to identify discrimination on campus, and when and how to report incidents of discrimination. Finally, we will go over some practical examples of how discrimination may come up on campus. As you complete this training, these are some core values that your campus holds and would like you to keep in mind. First, student safety is paramount. This training is just one of many steps taken to ensure student safety on campus. Second, this campus values creating an inclusive culture to help students from all backgrounds feel respected and seen. Third, this campus aims to build and embrace tools to advance respectful campus conversation, civic education, and civic engagement. And last, under no circumstances will this campus stand for discrimination or harassment of any kind. Let's start with some background of Title VI. Title VI was a part of the historic Civil Rights Act of 1964. Title VI bans discrimination based on race, color, and national origin in programs and activities that receive federal funding. The actual language of the Title VI statute states that no person in the United States shall, on the ground of race, color, or national origin, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. Title VI applies to all SUNY campuses. This means that SUNY has zero tolerance for discrimination based on race, color, and national origin in any educational program and activity hosted by, sponsored by, or associated with SUNY, including admissions and recruitment practices, financial aid, academic programs, student treatment services, counseling or guidance, disciplinary procedures or sanctions, classroom assignments, grading, vocational education, any recreational or extracurricular activities, athletics, physical education, and housing. While Title VI prohibits discrimination on campus, campuses must also respond to any discriminatory speech or conduct that takes place off campus or on social media, including on personal social media accounts and student organization social media accounts, if the campus knew or should have known of the speech or content. The discriminatory speech or conduct must be assessed to determine if it creates a hostile environment on campus or in an educational program or activity, just as any on-campus conduct would be assessed. Because Title VI applies to all educational programs and activities, it is important to understand its relationship with the First Amendment. The First Amendment guarantees the right to free speech, which means that our campus community has the right to share personal views and opinions. Sometimes, speech that is offensive, hurtful, or even hateful is protected by the First Amendment. While Title VI does not allow campuses to punish or discipline students for speaking, it requires the campus to respond when speech is discriminatory based on race, color, or national origin. As a public school, SUNY follows all federal laws, including the First Amendment and Title VI. For example, if the campus receives a report that a student posted a hurtful, nonviolent comment about a particular group on a personal social media page, the post would likely be considered free speech. However, the campus still must respond to the complaint and see if additional resources would be useful, including specific educational or supportive measures as needed. Now we will discuss how to identify discrimination based on race, color, and national origin, including shared ancestry and ethnic characteristics. Let's start with discrimination based on national origin. National origin discrimination includes discrimination or harassment based on a person's actual or perceived ancestry, ethnic characteristics, citizenship, residency in a country with a dominant religion, or distinct religious identity. It is important to note that while Title VI does not explicitly protect students from discrimination based only on religion, students of a religious group may be protected under Title VI if the discrimination is based on national origin. Discrimination based on national origin also includes discrimination or harassment based on a person's shared ancestry and ethnic characteristics. Examples of this type of discrimination include the use of racial, ethnic, or ancestral slurs or labels, harassment based on how someone looks, dresses, or speaks in ways linked to ancestry or ethnicity. For instance, discrimination or harassment based on skin color, physical features, religious attire, a person's use of a foreign language, or presence of an accent or a foreign name. This type of discrimination also includes the use of stereotypes based on a person's actual or perceived ancestral or ethnic characteristics. This means that the person or group does not actually have to belong to a particular ancestral or ethnic group. Rather, it is sufficient that they are being perceived as someone with those particular ancestral or ethnic characteristics. Examples of individuals or groups who may be discriminated against based on shared ancestry or ethnic characteristics may include students who are Hindu, Jewish, Muslim, Sikh, or any other religion associated with a shared ancestry and ethnic characteristics. Shared ancestry and ethnic characteristics also include hate-based discrimination against a particular religious identity or group, such as anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. The federal government has made it clear that all hate-based discrimination, including anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, must be identified, prevented, and disrupted on college campuses. All students have a right to a learning environment free from discrimination, including those who are perceived to be or are Jewish, Israeli, Muslim, Arab, Palestinian, Hindu, or from any other religion or region of the world. Discrimination banned by Title VI may take many different forms, which may look like, but are not limited to, racial harassment, denial of language services to English learners, providing resources to students of a particular race, color, or national origin in an uneven manner, enforcing policies in a way that is racially discriminatory, or different treatment of a particular group based on its race, color, or national origin. Discrimination may also take the form of harassment or harassing conduct. Harassing conduct is unwelcome conduct that may include verbal abuse, graphics or written statements, physical assault, or any other conduct that may be threatening, harmful, or humiliating. Something important to note is that harassing conduct does not have to be directed at a particular individual and may be directed at a group. Our obligation to address and prevent any discriminatory, hostile environment requires your campus to take important steps. These steps may include establishing policies and procedures for responding to all bias reports and complaints, documenting all reports, investigations, and outcomes relating to complaints, providing supportive measures to students when appropriate. These supportive measures may include allowing for alternative course scheduling options, providing safety escorts, and offering available resources and services such as mental health counseling, and providing clear updates or statements to the campus community regarding certain events or incidents. Now we will discuss how to report discrimination. Each campus has its own structure for reporting harassing conduct based on race, color, or national origin. It is best to review your campus's policy on how to file a report. If you are unable to find such a policy, please reach out to your institution's Chief Diversity Officer or Affirmative Action Officer. An important note is that retaliation is prohibited against a person who exercises their right to file a formal complaint, participate in the process, or refuse to participate in the process of addressing a potential Title VI violation. If you are not sure you witnessed or experienced harassing conduct that may create a hostile environment, it is best to report the incident. Trained administrators can help assess the report, provide any supportive measures that may be necessary, investigate the incident, and take steps to stop and prevent further harassment. Your campus counseling centers and other resources are also available if you seek further support. Let's review some examples to help learn to identify what discrimination based on race, color, or national origin may look like on campus. The following examples are based on realistic events and experiences of students. Some of the content may be offensive or disturbing. The examples provided are to help recognize how discrimination that violates Title VI may manifest on college campuses. Example 1. At a college, several students organize a pro-Israel demonstration. After the demonstration, the students, many of whom were Israeli and Jewish, who organized the demonstration, received messages that include anti-Semitic slurs and death threats via a social media messaging app and via text message from students at the college. After receiving these messages and reporting the messages to college administrators, the affected students miss class and seek mental health support at a campus clinic. One student requests to finish the semester remotely. The following week, the college issues a statement condemning anti-Semitism and denouncing the messages as not aligned with the college's views. The college does not conduct any further investigation of the allegations relating to social media or text messages to determine whether the Israeli and Jewish students experienced a hostile environment in the school's education program or activity, nor does the school assess whether they need additional supports. Because the complaint alleges specific facts that suggest that students may have experienced a hostile environment based on their Israeli national origin and their shared Jewish ancestry or ethnic characteristics, an investigation is warranted. If the investigation confirms these allegations, these actions could constitute harassing conduct that is subjectively and objectively offensive, as well as so severe or pervasive that it limits or denies the student's ability to participate in or benefit from the school's education program or activities. Additionally, if the school did not take actions beyond condemning anti-Semitism and denouncing the messages, and otherwise failed to take prompt and effective steps reasonably calculated to end the harassment and eliminate any hostile environment and its effects, and prevent the harassment from recurring, this could be a violation of Title VI. Example 2. At a large public university, a group of students, including Muslim and Arab students, form a new interfaith organization to encourage civil dialogue on campus. The student group organizes and participates in a campus vigil for peace. While the vigil is taking place, a large group of protesters from a neighboring school assembles nearby. The protesters use racial and ethnic slurs toward the Muslim and Arab students and tell them, "End the vigil now or face the consequences." The Muslim and Arab students, feeling unsafe, leave the vigil. The next day, they report the statements of the protesters to an administrator and share that they do not feel safe on campus. The administrator tells them that the university is not responsible for what the protesters did because they have no control over external groups. As the complaint alleges specific facts suggesting that the students may have experienced a hostile environment based on the students' actual or perceived race or national origin, including their shared ancestry and ethnic characteristics, an investigation is warranted. Protesters who are not members of the school community or any other visitor to the school community can contribute to the creation of a hostile environment. Accordingly, the fact that some comments were made by students from another school would not affect the investigation into whether the conduct contributed to a hostile environment within the school's education program or activity. If the investigation confirms the allegations concerning the slurs and other conduct by the protesters toward the Muslim and Arab students, These actions could constitute harassing conduct that is subjectively and objectively offensive and so severe or pervasive that it limits or denies the involved student's ability to participate in or benefit from the school's education program or activity. Additionally, if it is further confirmed that the school took no further action and failed to take prompt and effective steps to reasonably end the harassment, eliminate any hostile environment and its effects, and prevent the harassment from recurring, there could be a violation of Title VI. Thank you for completing this training on Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964.